Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into one of the absolute cornerstones of the Toyota production system. It's a tool, sure, but it's really a philosophy designed to do one thing: make problems completely impossible to ignore. We're talking about the Andon system.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a question. I want you to really think about this for a second. In your own workplace, with all the moving parts, all the things that can go sideways, what's the single most dangerous problem you have to deal with?
You know, it's probably not the big, obvious thing everyone complains about. The most dangerous problem is almost always the one that's invisible. It's the one lurking just beneath the surface, the one that goes completely unnoticed until, boom, it's way too late. These are the silent killers that just drain your resources and crush productivity without anyone even realizing it.
And this gets us to this core challenge, this idea of the hidden factory. It's basically all the unproductive work, all the waste that's generated by these problems we can't see.
You've probably seen this list before, the 7 classic wastes, or MUDA, as they say in lean thinking. But look at them again. Every single one of these, waiting, unnecessary motion, fixing mistakes, they aren't the real problem. They're just the symptoms. They're the fever that tells you the hidden factory is sick with an underlying infection.
And this quote right here, it just nails the conventional way of thinking. So many companies use inventory like water in a river. They just keep the level high enough so that all the dangerous rocks and snags on the riverbed stay hidden. You never hit them, sure, but you also never know they're there. Toyota's philosophy? It's the complete opposite. They say, let's lower the water, expose every single rock, and get rid of them for good.
So, if hiding problems is the disease, what's the cure? Well, it starts with something surprisingly simple. It starts with a visual signal that can literally change the entire game.
And that's our hero, Andon. At its heart, it's a system built to do one thing and do it perfectly. Make a problem scream for attention the exact second it happens. It makes it physically impossible to just walk by and ignore it.
And when you do that, it creates this massive shift in philosophy. Think about it. The traditional way is to find a defect and kind of pass it down the line. Not my problem anymore. But with the Andon approach, anyone, and I mean anyone, is empowered to pull the cord and stop everything. And instantly, the conversation changes. It's no longer about who messed up. It's about how did our process let this happen?
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work on a noisy, busy factory floor? So let's break down the actual mechanics of a classic Andon system.
It really is a beautifully simple dance. First, an operator spots something wrong. Anything. A defect, they're running low on parts, a safety issue, doesn't matter. Second, they pull the cord, no hesitation. Third, a team leader responds immediately, going straight to the Gemba, which just means the actual place the work is happening. And fourth, the team swarms the problem right then and there to figure it out and make sure it never happens again.
And the system itself can be as simple or as complex as you need. I mean, on one end, you could just have a simple stack of lights, like a traffic light. Green means we're good, yellow means I need some help over here, and red means the line is stopped. Easy. Or you could have a massive digital scoreboard for the whole plant, showing production targets versus actual numbers in real time. Both are Andon.
Now, it's so easy to look at all this and just think of Andon as a piece of hardware. You know, a pull cord and a light bulb. But if you think that, you are completely missing the most powerful, most revolutionary part of the entire concept.
See, Andon is actually just one piece of a much bigger idea at Toyota, a pillar called Jidoka. You can think of it as automation. That is automation with a human touch. The whole idea actually came from Sakishi Toyota's original automatic loom. He designed it so that if a single thread broke, the entire machine would stop itself. This prevented it from creating a whole bolt of bad fabric. It had the intelligence to know when something was wrong.
And Taiichi Ohno, the guy who basically architected the Toyota production system, he called this the factory's autonomic nervous system. I love that. Think about it. When you touch a hot stove, you don't have to think, this is hot, I should probably move my hand. Your body just reacts instantly. That's what Andon does. It's an immediate, intelligent reflex that happens right at the source of the pain.
So this brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important point of all. Appian isn't a tool you just go out and install. It's a culture. It's something you have to build, brick by brick. So what does that culture actually look like? A real end-to-end culture, it's all built on a foundation of trust. It has to start with standardized work so that everybody agrees on what good looks like. And then, when that cord gets pulled, leaders must show up as coaches, not as judges looking for someone to blame. When you do that, you create this environment where the operators on the line feel genuinely empowered.
They become your first and best line of defense for quality because they have the trust and the authority to stop everything to protect the customer.
So, as we wrap up here, the lesson from the Andon system is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly profound. You cannot solve a problem that you refuse to see. The first step, the bravest step, is always to make it visible. So I'll just leave you with this question. What hidden problem are you going to choose to drag out into the light tomorrow?